All right. Assalamu alaikum, Gambia, friends of the Gambia. Ngamolbe kondong. Itola ni kondongol. The time is 4:37 p.m. in the Gambia. Be July 28, 2024. Mbal Tentula, Mbal Jaila. It's all about the national discourse. Gambia dingol lel tamu. Andung Gambia banko mo kilinta la kuo decide nola. Usually in most democracies in the world, jama nkajele dunia kono, when you become a head of a state, walate ning ayatara, even you are a manager of an institution, ila diamu kangol nyantaka mezole, ila diamu kangol when you were a private citizen, anin ni nataka ke banko nyaton koti walate yeke institutional nyaton koti, etela diamo abe nyantakata kala kulokan, horomokan, anin bunya. Andum farato manyankata imari la kumakangolka. This is why institutional development and ethical consideration in our country and in the dispensation of justice, be it in the civil service, our institutions, and also government institutions and their line ministries. Oya Kendi, as a people, we need to be measured. Kajube many times. Because nte as an individual, Adama dingo wato doli kungobuka fanu, bari, inyaka fengol milje, you can predict something me alonko you can be spot on. Time and time again, I've made several programs, so many programs, either on Casa TV or Kamarabako or on my own Facebook platform. Katandiko, Mr. Adama Barrow is a national security threat of our country. Because nga based on fundamental, scrutinized ideologies. Milia Lonko, they are very crystal clear. Because Ninata Mr. Adama Barrow Jube, this is the one person, Mia Lonko, nin londolem, nin kuningolem, nin fahamurolem, and in ninke kendealam, he could not have become even a gatekeeper in our country. But we can all agree and disagree and come to terms. Katandiko, momo ale nibo fewofenna ikawole soto. Make no mistake, Gambians. It is about time we put our political differences na Gambia la kuonying na jube. If one person has been violated in the country, we as a people, na decency better la muntole, na dignity better la muntole, na values and fundamental ideologies better la muntole, ning ayatra, one person has been violated time and time again in our country. Mamfundi, kadiamu ka wokuol condemn, we would not be a better people in our country. We cannot sit by and think, it has to be my turn, na mama manyang kadiamu. By the time Abe Mala, it would have been very too late. You don't have to agree with the ideologies of the United Democratic Party. Puru, ELF right fight. You do not have to like Usainu Dabo, Puru Yefunti, the incendiary, the inflammatory statement, the vile statement, the hate speech. and in the very unpresidential speeches directed towards the persona of Mr. 𝒂𝒂𝒏. Milialonko hani na denano fa sanje fula dinne wata fola. Na sanje tanne lulu dinke wata fola. Na sanje muan dindingo wata fola. And if we see a leader of a whole country time and time again kaloka kuma kangol for milialonko kuma kalantampa ka kuma kangol for kuma kangol milialonko, they are very divisive and hate speeches on lamoite wolmu kuma kangol te milialonko ete banko sambala nyato, but it will further try to divide us. Fellow Gambians and friends of the Gambia, when has it become so bad that we see the leader of our country, Milialonko, in the name of Mr. Adama Barrow, who is so hateful, who is so vile, who is very vindictive, as if could be anala nyin sembobe ninga taraye 𝒂𝒂𝒏 niyo la dula nyinje asafano. But we tell you, Mr. President Adama Barrow, ka tandila ko, ya feel ko, you think ko ite setara presidency to eko yo contract ko la sign, ma long wati jamale tata alkiyama sakoren ko ye malaiko ye delegate ke kende ni tala mansot. Ngalon na ko you are the leader of the country, of the Gambia, but ma long ko ite mu ni tala mansoleti fo ye contract ko sign ye ko 𝒂𝒂𝒏 fale ete nyala. Who knows? 𝒂𝒂𝒏 bulo kulete la kaburo kam. You know? Saya man na nyen na ka tandi ko min follow ke bayata wole follow be fala. But it has become, the presidency of the Republic of the Gambia has become a joke, an absolute nuisance in our country. Kananka si ka moje miya lonko ninga atrala kekende ale 1-to-1 miya long hani kabirala dende watu anene man kebute no, bari bi ni aje oba siso konkon na be kuma kalantangol fola dulalto miya long. It doesn't add any value to our political discourse and ning the current predicaments of the country mimbe kirin na Bangkoka. Naisan, fellow Gambians and friends of the Gambia, being sulata minna la wala mnyente ko fuaria be bono la Gambia Bangkoka nyadil. Be Gambia dingol sulata minna la wala mnyente ko the high unemployment unemployment o mimbe Bangkoka be bola nyadil. The unprecedented skyrocketing of prices of commodities in our market. Adama Barrow nala mansakunda e fere sifa nyadi la soto purka wobondi Gambia dingol kan. Fuaria mimbe lokurin Bangkoka. Adama Barrow mu fuaroleti way before anala entire generation obe mu fuaroleti. Bari niaje Gambia dingol fundetane ya nyandi afanna. We feed you, we clothe you, we provide you 24/7 security. Ite nila entire family ngal bondi fuari yakono ngali nyandi no alfanna. Woto altol nyanta Gambia tentulal, altol nyanta Gambia dingol kuliala lalie horoma lie bunya, especially Mr. Adama Barrow. Make no mistake. Ngo hani taka aka joye dunne wai. Hani taka aka joye dunne. Adama Barrow is a beneficiary of 𝒂𝒂𝒏 darajonye. Adama Barrow is a beneficiary 𝒂𝒂 la katakuo anala kukeo a campaign ta wolekan fo biya ketanyendo. Fisir walle ya mambetea wai. Konnante ya mambetea Bangkoka. It's a more konyaonya at the end of the day. Listen. Nyimu balafa bat. Je ite presidento mumenyin. Ebe president yala hani bi hani sama iniyo mandiano. Ebe kamfaring. Wati niaje funtita doro. Ebe kamfaring Gambia dingol kan. Mone wono inanya aniye odula soto nyaming aman senea wole akende niela ibuke lano esino correctly on soto. Fellow Gambians and friends of the Gambia. B. Nga jikiko. In a serious country where banko dingol sula te la banko jarite e kula wala munyintiko ete nyaton ko ni fontita ete nyanta jube la koleabe bankol ka nyaaw nyaale bari ete as a leader of a country ye fere sifa nyaadi le lande pour wo kolea e bangi ete la banko ka bari nyeng coming like I always keep saying doku no balialem with all the cabinet ministers and in the so-called advisors of the country. This is a vindication to the people of the Gambia. Katandiko, this government of Mr. Adama Barrow has failed and will continue to fail. Imam minkeno sanje fula kono, sanje sabe ma keno ita keno la sanje tango kono, and do no amount of deception wole nyanta ka kende puri Gambia no nene ka foye kominko. We have to re-elect this government because re-electing this government of Mr. Adama Barrow meaning that is a gross violation and a wrong against nature. Katoko, ete mari minko sanje sabadro wala kanyante. But fast forward, inata, imang doyal, sanya inata ka si, iko ifaye ko sanje tango fango mang kanya etela. Ete mumumosi ya sifalati. Every meeting, every rally, nisi itajeka kuma kolenga for Gambia dingol. Gambia dingol manyen deserved. Mr. Adama Barrow, Gambia dingol manyen deserved. And just like I said, the more it can confuse or create Gambia banko kan, the more it a fango doku ka kolebulu. You see, Adama Barrow is just like a flame, dimbale mati. In the sense that ko, ita mutanola, ya muta aye jani, ma muta aye kandinda aye alakuobe wole nyam. This is why it has become another proven record. Katandi, the Inspector General of Police la, because bawa telephone tita nyembankoka, ako, moluka kiebalene, moluka hate speak like, o manke Mr. Inspector General la dokuot. Ala dokuo mu mente wala mnyente ko, leave those moral and ethical issues to the hands of the religious leaders, family heads, and then other people in society. Ite you as an Inspector General of Police, inyanyantaka lo minkan to defend the territorial integrity and the internal sovereignty of the Gambia. Kajeko, ning ayatara fengal bekela water milialonko. Internally, we have so many security lapses in our country. But because of political expediency, and in doku no balia, I repeat it again. It had a media motto, no, the security situation of the Gambia, Saina Talata. When every other day there are crime, there are burglaries in the Gambia, there are arson attack, and a murder in the Gambia. So who are they fooling? Are they fooling themselves? Or are they lying to themselves in the sense that go Gambia la predicament go kefan nene musola ni lawato sita kakoil. This is why you can always try to defend Mr. Adama Barrow, but the realities of the on the ground will never change. You know, Ndol, we are not just here just for the sake of criticizing. Because we feel that ko momo la right violator o banko ka nyanta ka funtile to keep the record straight. And nyem banko ka. By now, today, we would expect the Inspector General of Police to go after the President of the Republic of the Gambia for the hate speech. Because he has been on record at Teleko, Molmilialonko, they are doing hate speech, he is going after them. Now, who is lying to who? Wale Akende. Adama Barrow is not above the laws of the country. Adama Barrow is not Gambia. Ngo, Mr. Adama Barrow 10 years ago, Moma lo white. Moma lonko as if he is even dignified or even very important in the country. But Gambia dingol ye nyande fanat. Nyen usenu dawo mi ka ndeng. ika ridicule, ika kusifa befaye. He has hundreds of thousands of people. Mili alonko iba koma. Imagine, niye kumakalantama fwaye. Niya neng, ya mantore ku jawo faye. You expect hundreds of thousands of right of response back. Wala na as a leader of country. Nimman Cairo preach. Nkana fitino mamandi. And I repeat, Mr. Adama Barrow is a national security threat of our country. Make no mistake. He's been on record many times. Nin Satan sitita wato minna teleka Satan free. And some instances, he become the devil himself. Na Bangkoka. Go, Mr. Adama Barrow, you cannot lock up all the people of the Gambia. You cannot do that. Ya jamea try la makeno and do it ya try it fangote sumanala because this third republic we would have expected ninga taram furin dianteng for the National Assembly then all the bad laws of the 1997 constitution would have been changed. Bari ndeysan na bankole mu bankundente within mainland Africa where people you see bankunde miala isa bedoku ya betal no be sama kono jube because of poor urban planning and in zoning makenon na bankoka nin sama sita ka mulunta kombe balel kono. You know, these are some of the things, these are the things, me alonko, are affecting the lives of the Gambian people on a larger scale. Lafita will be solved no lanyadi. Rather than, few months ago, a national dialogue, I was on record, nga safele, and I was on Facebook Live, katandeko. This live, this national dialogue is a political gimmicks. Katandiko, just to secure funds from people, the government, central government and opposition are on the same wavelengths. Nkoiko barate work. The number one person member revoke la ba tinyala wale bekela, Mr. Adama Barrow or his allies. Anafale mol bulokono. Alafale mol bulokono will all these so-called advisors, millions and millions of money as of state resources are being spent on them, but time and time again, nim president lota kumakalantam fo mo atako personal vilification and ning negative and unpresidential statements ka ota bankoka. And I am glad people who have decency have come out to condemn these vile statements of Mr. Adama Barrow. It is not fit for purpose. Andung at a banku dingol nafala, andung it is not unifying the country by any means. When did Adama Barrow went to Malaikal Mautika Jube coming kate new contract or sign? Kake Gambia President Jala Yirti. That is how you can measure how vile, how wicked Mr. Adama Barrow is. Yalon Adama don janiba daji ko lon na palaso diala. Today, Mr. Adama Barrow should have been thanking the people of the Gambia. Every day and night, ni sino te nyanta ka Gambia dingol tentule ka jeko nga fisa mante ya minchika nga dila. Bari, ate fe, wo mu nene ma joleti, wo mu atela kata kuoleti. So therefore, ate binalal ka Gambia dingol doya, ka Gambia dingol neng, ka Gambia dingolu ka kuma kalama foye. Mia lonko. Time immemorial, in the previous past, molu milia lonko ni wulete ko ibe mansa against la ibe dia mulaye e ko ifa ko ha mo buka mansa so nkani wo molel fan kuyata ba wala mo religious and council solti board Christian and Islamic council Supreme Council, you know. wale akende na Gambia religious leader ala la neutrality nying ala stanota. Because nying dunia mansolu, especially in reference to the Gambian leader, wolu mang teri soto wali la personal gratification of the wallet. Ni to la nafa nata, any Islamic council, anything religious ni wo nata, mansa will throw you under the bus. Fansun kuoke. But name fitina kuo nata, name this confusion o nata, la fita call to religious leader use. Puro alieta diamo Gambia dun. Religious leaders. You people are very dignified people in society. Altol le kalo mimbarolto, altol le bota kordal kono because momo mimbe indol dunia kono. Imari bota suola kono, e bota kordal kono, e bota kabilo leto, and e bota tundo leto. But at the end of the day, mune a kendi alkal fantu mansal bulu o nyama. Altol Supreme Islamic Council molu, and a religious council, and Christian council. Al sekeno president altile nyimbanko kan bari aba kelako nga aba sunnal tol maril fangola ali tonya fasa kadon ar qur'ano le baltol bulokono bible le bal bulokono kaje nin tonya be larin dame ali tonya fo mol betema bare ndeysan yinketa balafa ku bate time and time again na nyimbanko kan nkaje mol be sire Christian council walu jama ngajele walu, they have vindicated themselves ye tonya for Yaya Jammel. But the Islamic Supreme Council ngajele, when we needed them most, walen wato te miya lonko 𝒂𝒄𝒄𝒏𝒏 kede ning ayatara nganna jiko be di tollelanden no Gambia mambo hani sanyi. Nyimu bala falati. Nyimu bala fa bati. Alingan tuku alala. Alinga katanga jubeko. Haraje nabe mansaba dile la force asonta manso. Bari alin kanan na integrity, anin na decency wafi, just for kobo or a quarter bread and mayonnaise or butter. Wale akendi mo dolu ise siite nyannela. Ne watem bi Islamic Council wale follow nyanta statement o bondela ka tande mansala de konong ye kumakao mimfo nyembrika manyento hadama din kendo bukafo hani mo bukafo miya lonko fanga mankata dino fangola, whether the person is Muslim or Christian, pagan or fango bukafo. So it begs to ask a question with all of you to reason. Is Adama Barrow okay? Adama Barrow for mune ketala. Because Momi Alonko is in their right frame of mind. Wobuka for mweko foni fata. It means the President of the Republic of the Gambia, Mr. Adama Barrow, intend a very wicked and sinister thing from Honorable Lawyer 𝒂𝒊𝒏. Ndaysan. Like I said, ma kalamuta wati jamale ye contract or sign with Malaika al-Mauti. Katara mold niotala. Make no mistake. In no time maybe 𝒂𝒊𝒏 kuitala kaburo kan. What is the guarantee ka tandi ko itebel tarala presidency nyento? Foning 𝒂𝒊 fata. Foye na ya foye ko Barrow 𝒂𝒊 fatale sanying. Mfama fatale. You know, Adama Barrow is a joke in our country. Nobody should respect Mr. Adama Barrow because nyine dunia molu Gambia mo be lua e bunya ta ya dinyina bare nyimalla fika fambunya. Ne woten ite mari as an individual. Ite ka momin kumandi fama. Isina yelo wati mfama ten. Womu bunya sifal nyadi leti. Koto Gambia dingola alin kana Adama Barrow bunya. Katuko. Fani tiol be loringele. O fani tiol e bota korral lel kono. E bota suol le kono. E bota kabilo le kono. And e bota tundol le kono. Mbenga alon ne tonya ka feto dami. Is Mr. Adama Barrow above the law? So if he is not above the law, let the Inspector General of Police act within his powers, or the National Assembly of the Republic of the Gambia summon Mr. Adama Barrow, because this is more than even 5 to 10 times the President of the Republic of the Gambia kafunte ka reckless and incendiary inflammatory statement ka funtende ka molu neng ka molu attack. Niye mol neng nendero koto mo munati jo. Niye neng be nennale ando ninge enjoy la asekenon tetai demi tetati. This should not be about UDP, or this should not be about NPP. This should be about morality and decency in our society. Mia Lonko, the number one person to uphold that morality and decency, is nobody other than Mr. Adama Barrow. But is he respecting that? No. Because he thinks that he is above the law. Right now, my prophecy is that Mr. Adama Barrow is scared to death. His term of office is coming to an end. So jube nying corruption scandal, all the inactions to probe and crack down on corrupt practices and corrupt people in the government. And again, he has acquired so many things illegally and also amassing wealth in an astronomical and unprecedented manner. Land grabbing here and there. He thinks that now, because people are advocating his sinister jobs, and I call Milibeke, at the end of the day now, he thinks that he can come up and do Gambians bad things or say anything anyhow. He is making life more difficult and more miserable for himself. Mr. Adama Barrow, Gambia la fitino wulinde Gambia banko kan ametele wati dina Gambian kolo aning usenu daba ametele wati, because at least be nim fitino wulta Gambia banko kan, you will be at more risk than Kafoko Usenu Dabo, because Usain Dabo Muneke. We can uncover the bad things that you are doing and bring it to the limelight. For hate anin kondiro fama be dan tadame wala mnyenteko ya wis moe fa anu Mr. Adama Barrow wala tandi. Let nobody fall for it. Katande kominko mfama lemu wala mfama te abemu gimmick leti abemu pretension leti usenu manke fati from now on, and nobody should think that usenu lemu nyimfati. Usenu should dishonor Mr. Adama Barrow simply because hate kondiro dandula be adanta daming ay wala for usenu dabola. Wala mo puru ka niyo chamba, puru oe fa. I have konne so much so that I have tandile. Ala fangole wo funtindi bala. So na religious leader milia lonko e besiring ala meetingot. Mona na wal fango do ma wuli ye walk away. Because fitino minka mamande o mari mo jaw baletide. Andu Mr. Adama Barrow ya la kuria tandi mo la bankoka. So that begs to ask another more question. Inspector General of Police Aimuneke. But this is why all the more reason Gambians could now believe with us. Coming Camille Falie over and over and time again. Mr. Adama Barrow ma kombara daji konying wosun kanta bake mawol lafi andamande. Kanto nyina moti me alonko berana ta presidency la Gambia be dunta nyoto. Fulol ninjolal milka nyod de sanoya wo nene man soto sai wole nyokong mandin kol nim fengol dol every fabric of society be dunta nyokon ning ayatara tele modoti no a nyanta Gambia dingol sonkuru nyokonole ay Gambia dingol lo diamonde Cairo la capri bare biye Cairo pri before 24 hours ye bang yete ye kudo ke miyalo. That is very bad in human existence. Bari abe niaja abe kela tentem because Adama na nanya wale mukuwa nyinti. Gambia dingol needs to put their differences aside. This is not about 𝒐𝒊𝒏. It's 𝒐𝒊𝒏 konyaonya Adama ye nying kondiro minke. That is very sad. And no decent person from the NPP party say Adama defend no nying kuala. Not even the so-called Ismaila Cisse. Not 𝒂𝒄𝒄𝒏, not anybody. Because if today Ninsita Jang on a platform, nko 𝒂𝒄𝒄𝒏 anyanta kafale. More beba mutala komimko for nyale mat. Equally, if the President of the Republic of the Gambia, Wena Fontiko, at a better lamman sayala for Useni fa, when does he have the guarantee I contract on inside Muntola? Gambia Nyantaka Alonko, Adama Barrow is a very wicked man. This man is not worth to be called a president, and therefore, ning ayatarang proper and a correct 6 legislature sotonung National Assembly. Adama Barrow needs to be impeached for a mere fact that in my prophecy, in my professional line of job, something is fundamentally wrong with this man. And he is losing it big time. Adama Barrow is not okay because now he would not stand on a public platform. Yeah. Well, Adama Barrow has a lot of advisors. Milia Lonko, they are not fit for their purpose. They are salary takers. They cannot advise him because to those people, they have no education, no skill set, no profession. Yeah, Mira Komenko, they should be, they are looking at the man and say, yes, Mr. Adama Barrow, itele malaikoti alafangole kinang, itele mo annabiyo moti, itele nyanta kasijang, kuoku yake doronga bebete ata Mr. Adama Barrow. Walla mo the enemies of the Gambia. Walla mo the disgruntled and dishonest people of the Gambias. Walla multimillion lonko. A man fit for purpose for human existence. Because no water, nenno, ebe la foreata alale. Nyulu be mi ya lonko ebe Mr. Adama Barrow bal. Ebe jube. Ebe waralim foika bumbulam bum. Ibe konolu ibuka wara de konolu kan melun. Abeta nata haramo. But you know, God is very fair. While all of this is happening, there are some people in the country, Milia Lonko, they are struggling for survival. They are feeding off of breadcrumbs. And Dolu, they go to bed without food. And Mr. Adama Barrow was one time just like this. Because at least if you live in the Gambia, you as a person have one day or the other go to bed without food. But in Nilu, ye faratota, ya muta coming ko itollel kekende ata, coming ko Gambia mu itollel tata, walate o mansakundanya mu itoltal. Make no mistake. Mansakundal kanale kata, but Gambia remains. And our institutions remain. So, Altol, you will do yourself a favor. Do a soul searching. Kajubeko, Gambia la tanya bekeri nyadile, mansa nae kuke nila fitaka mako ika faila kwa yenye minka mambeteat. Mr. President yenye mimfo, wo manke 430, and nung you see, it's a philosophical difference also. Bari, manyanka jube kominko, we become so vindictive and so vile. Purungang fang ta nkokari o anyanta kafale. Ema lonko fo o marile ba jio minne te kunkolo kono. Aya abulo kuila kaburoka. And just like I said, in as much as there are so many people around Mr. Adama Barrow, equally there are hundreds and hundreds of thousands and thousands of people who are very loyal to Mr. 𝒐𝒊𝒏, because this man is a dignified person. 𝒐𝒊𝒏 is somebody who is good for country. Please, Gambia and friends of the Gambia. Money akendi mbe konante ya sotola nyaonya nte molu tesnola nte we can solve this problem of the Gambia. Katane Mr. Adama Barrow, you are not Gambia. Andong Gambia manke Barrow kundati. Gambia manke la keta kundati. Nim fahamo nin karangolem denu Halifa Sallah wale bekela president no hoto. Or 𝒂𝒂𝒏 or somebody else. The list on the list of the people or potential to have become the president of the Republic of the Gambia wale mo Adama Barrow no. But Adama, Adama taka fanka joye dunna wai. Mojama in their right frame of mind, be it the Inspector General of Police, be it the National Assembly, be your political advisors who can back you on these divisive statements. And I am glad people who have common decency will be funtite in condemn. Yet still, religious councils are just sitting by. Because some of them, they feel like Komenko, Mansala Muila, Alpha and the Omega of everything. And Mansa, Firaona tata Musa tata Firaona normale. Momang Kurano long, momang alabatu katambe anabilai Musa. But at the end of the day, Firaona mantara tilingoka wale akendi Musa kiakang. Altolka Al-Qur'ano la kunna falin nyanyadi le wati o wati. And you think and you expect people to respect you as elderly people in society? Time and time again, Baroka funta kan nendiroge religious council buka awon sakwe se diamai. And in some instances, some religious leaders will justify ka tandala coming ko enye mimvole keta. Wole beteata. Mubuka mansafa so. Mansako nako abe silobe bola kuntemo kumala kafara baraka bode. Altol betenne yarafa. Altol la miraro woto nimbunje na tamandir nya fatadal. Nko al dankene al fanna. Alia jube mansama keku al fanan kali statement ol bonde ka tande ko mansa yenye minka mambeta o ma kende kairo parakasa al mansa temat. Bawo, woman sa naduta, woman sa kamurun netela noma. Ako eko al nalia mediata alia diamu nim mol tema. Bari bi, alko the female genital mutilation malong ngamira altol ko musun no le tanim fenko kila la fenko munane yewo bana alfe banko kan. Afele mansa ya la fansung interest ol jube because mansa ate naning ala interest obe dawda kat do wole no. Oto Gambian kolu alinga lamfanna wai. Gambian kolu alinga fankongo bula. Gambian kolu alinga ke tonya folati. Nga tonya from badingo ye. Even if that badingo is 𝒂𝒂𝒏. Nama keku nyanta ka fire. I sene asset. Equally, Mr. Adama Barrow several ginormous times. Afuntita jannaye kuma masilandi mba for society kon. Miya lonko. Na manke mola kalanke yate ndennum fitina bal wulita. And again and again and again and again. Kairo be tenkunding. Setan be larim bari atone Adama Barrow katula setan mamandila ka wulindi wate o wate. Like I said, wo setan nyeng na mamanta. Mr. Adama Barrow would be the first loser in the country. Because it is on the amount of wealth, the amount of structures, milk Gambia, it is on na wolbe na tinya. And this is why we need to have a vibrant institution. Wale akende nyanta kasi as a people ngamira kendeke, nimbe mo ke la palaso nyento akana ke dankun doron dammati. Akana ke ko ka foko nyimun na bading olati walate nyimun onkulati walanterilati nyanta ka ke plaso. Amari need to have the intellectual capacity amari nyantaka balafa soto Gambia amari ya londo nyin soto amari ya lomman sakunda katama nyadile. At least ninga woke will get the things right. And that should begin all the more reason from our National Assembly member, because the 6th legislature where Gambia failed. Ye Gambia fail nyadile e tollel kata multi-million lonko e duntanang ka kujau balu empower instead of trying to change the bad laws in the constitution of the 1997. Mune akende we as Gambian, so small within mainland Africa, but we are yet the most complicated people. Nakaro dorong. Who is Mr. Adama Barrow ka funte ka yen kuma jawbal fo bankoka? For alale ate kinam banka faya ko sa etelemo nita mansot. And yet, like I said, wale akende the Inspector General of Police afelegu Mr. Adama Barrow yal malundi kotenke. Ayal malundele because about a lot of platform ako you are going after hate speech. Doku fela albulokono hate speech fela afota. Nobody other than the #1 person of the Republic of the Gambia. Salbe munekela. The Gambia has laws. Ninga tara, we want to be law enforcement agencies of our country. In serious democracies and country, they do not regard who is a president, who is a poor man on the farm. Eka min jube walam nyente. Once you break the law would take its toll on you. Monanna to la Gambia mbuka oke. Monanna, we cannot be, very trusting to ourselves. Kajeko nte mbenna nyendoku ominna mbe ala ninkila la jube la baongan kalileko. I will defend the territorial integrity of the Gambia. I will provide life and I will protect life and property of this country without fear or favor, ill will or affection. So help me God. Wale ake nimbuka labankuke. Because yin kali balu walel kana kan tinya nyala miyala tambita nanel. Who is Adama Barrow? Nin kiditiol mantara ko maja Adama Barrow se jamale bute no Gambia? Wala akende kuma kensen fo niya fo kumo miya lonka manke tonyati kumo miya lonko anim fani manna wala anim kurso niya fo mu kuma kensen waleti. Modol bije niye fania fo isa fo ko nyimo fania depending which location of the Gambia but adami. Dol sa fo outright in your face ko ye wuli yalef. Dol sa fo ko ye wulu buke yalef. Wo be it comes to the same thing ka atande komenko. A lie is just a lie. But are we going to continue to be fake? And friends of my security forces, alal hakilo tubaki. Many time and time again, he called to use Gambia dingolka. Pour alieta aliye bute, alial bal bute, alial fal bute, alial baringol bute, aliye modolu bute tinkole yakang. Because the people at the helm of authority, they make you believe that this is between them and the opposition. And the question is, ite bota suja malakon. Ni moe ba bute fa wale onkole la baring. How would you feel? So ite mari manyanka wulieta ye wandi ba bute, wandi fa wala wandi baring. Mr. Adama Barrow nye minke daji kan tayalemo andung hanis sanje woro wula denne wa buka manyanka fa dal. Katu ko kondiro be danta walto. Wala mnyente ko ella fikari aniyo e bang. Ousseynou Dabo ala o mari ala so sima ya banin jata kende ala nyimbankoka. Gambia dingol, you could test Mr. Ousseynou Dabo by voting for him so that he can become the president of the Republic of the Gambia. Nananga jube fo. Adama Barrow be lola bricho le santo aye jolong akangoy kati. Wala tem fodung ni Ousseynou keta president Adama be suicide le commit laba. We can do it. Because this hate has gone beyond the epics. And every decent person will be funtika who condemn. That is the right thing to do. And on anybody within the ranks and files of Usenu, the UDP, niya okuma masilandin sifafo, the same thing na nyantaka foi marila. Nyantaka Cairo prigle, na nyantaka Cairo sabatindin na banko kanne. Woto Gambian kolu. Alinga kondiro nyimbula. We see that go. United Democratic Party la 5-point agenda ninna mayol be katakuwol minkeka. Nalia Usenu Sambap nang aliake palaso nyento, he can be a different person. Gambia would move and transcend beyond the horizon. Kajubeko, we have a Gambia where a poor person would be equally as a person in the helm of authority. Kajube momi along abe fatoto and a basic life and necessity of the country abe equal to the person living in Banjul. The commodity prices mili along be Bangkok in Banjul should be equal to the ones in Nyamanar in Fatoto. Na agriculture, we should be able to provide ourselves with rice. We feed ourselves with other legume and the vegetables items in our country, because Gambia is the only country with the abundance of arable land. Mi along, if you ke daoda se baluno, how comes Nyimman Sakunda they cannot think outside the box to put those things into practice? Ka Gambia dingol ends a show of, you know, food quality and water. Because make no mistake, Nia Jube, Nawek is dead, totally dead. No electricity, no water. It means just like in the time of the colonial era. Taxation without representation. You pay and pay and pay, but you do not have the services me along pay. It's cheating. It's another form of fraud and corruption. Defrauding Gambians. They will pay for internet services, they will pay for Nawek water and electricity, but they would not have the services that they are paying for. Ntolko, those are the pertinent issues me alonko. As a serious country, we should be talking about. We need to have a conversation. We as a people, we need to sit down and put things in context. Kajubeko. Banko star mandirinya, amanke what? If you sign up to become the president of the Republic of the Gambia and you cannot do the basic things for the average Gambians, then you need to resign. And this is all the more reason I said, and I will repeat it again. If we have a true National Assembly, today they would have summoned the president at the assembly and start impeachment proceeding. Because to me, Mr. Adama Barrow has lost it, and doctors need to help him for his own good, the good of his family, and the good of the country, because he cannot continue to dispense the proper functionings of his office. Usenu Dabo is an honorable man. Usenu Dabo doesn't want violence in the country. Even though time and time again people in the UDP would lose their cool and try to do things in a more of an anarchist. But Usenu Dabo always preach peace, harmony, unity, and the unification of our dear motherland, the Gambia. Ning ayataranu Usenu mumo violent ringote. 2021 election, I was in the Gambia. The Gambia would have been on flame. And Dunga Sekeno, Adama Barrow would not have served. But Usenu said, no. Let us go through the due process of the law. Because that is the domain. Nyimano ye minkarang. But tilimbali adoranede. My friends, brothers and sisters in uniform, they make you to believe that loyalty to the state means loyalty to the incumbent president in power. That is a blasphemy. That is a lie. I've not seen anything quite like that. In the General Service Order, civil service code of conduct and in the service rules. I've not seen that anywhere. Anywhere. So, a total tol police ol lel bulu, a total tol army ol lel bulu, a total tol uniform ti ol lel bulu to comport yourself in the way and manner. Ka jube ko moma nyanke dun the problem okon. This crowd control should be as very easy as simple. I have offered so many lessons live on Facebook here. The use of force continue. Kamol engage the madama. Wela doku ta soni andi bulle. But at the moment you just start to throw tear gas, pepper spray and baton, you complicate your job as a law enforcement officer. But again, loyalty to the state is one different fundamental thing as opposed to loyalty to the head of state. Ning ayatra kube nala miya lonko, it will destabilize the peace and tranquility of a country. And that president become rogue. Akalyeko burn down the country or burn these people down. Kill as many as possible. Are you going to be loyal to the state? Or are you going to be loyal to the command of the president who has gone rogue? You don't want to take life of any single fly in the Gambia, less of a life of a person. So in that way and manner, you will know that the president has gone rogue. You should be on the side of the citizen instead of executing those illegal orders. And we have seen in the Gambia on a press briefing, the Inspector General of Police says if anything that comes as an order, we expect that comes from him. This is all the more reason I say. So they Yeah. I mean, the Gambia, if we are not careful, because, you know, there are some people around this president. Imam Londi Soto, Imam Meche Soto, and Imam Haji or Haji Soto. E balajato dumbe kende arende. They could have, it's a better ano nung kunkotal katabandingo saba. Bawe balajato be kende areng, be better areng, barik doku balia ilafita walla. Ilafita ka fania dada ka conceive ni. Ka for Mr. Adama Barrow, let him continue, because you know what? To them, ning Adama Barrow continue to mansaya nyina, it also continue to benefit ndingol milsoto. Is that how we think as a country? In the Gambia, I see people celebrating a flyover. Maluta, ngomata, folla fitaka kumbo. In the sense that flyover is not a yardstick to measure development. It means ko o maril maybe mamfuta hani fatoto wala ten hani Senegal fa. It is sick. It is bad. Kajubeko, a government making a flyover for us. Those flyovers, you don't create outlet. Milia lonko, diversion ol bekela nyaming anim moto dol bek funtila nim daminna. Yet still Gambians want to make us believe that it is doctor. When has Adama Barrow become a doctor? Nyinku sifal wolleli ya jamme perpetuate na Bangkoka. And we thought Adama Barrow would have come and correct all the wrongs me alonko ya jamme, but B le wajabita kunum found. B le corruption o warta Bangkoka. B le mufasi ata Gambia Bangkoka. Bile abuse of office and authority siata Bangkoka. And yet still, the Inspector of General of Police stood and told us that aning information minister bile crime rate doyata Bangkoka. So it means to those people, if they are sisters or mothers or fathers or uncle, aunt, nephew, nieces would have died in the country, so that still mean crime rate doyatale. So it means in the Gambia, in as long as you are not affected, you are not bothered. What type of country is that? That is a country which is sick. I, Ensa ABC, I fervently, with my strong conviction, believe that in our national anthem, it says, let justice guide our action towards the common good. Bankuo bankunama lua soto, lua miya lonko. You invoke or make reference to the constitution or the laws of the Gambia when it is only in your favor. But when the laws are not in your favor, you have disregard to even make a reference to them. What type of person are you? Fellow Gambians and friends of the Gambia. Nyantaka mature democracy lesson. Nyantaka diamu fundamentally, we can agree and disagree. We can be in various different political parties and leanings. But o manyanka kendinga mira coming ko mo kari nyantaka fale. And this is how sick the presidency of the Republic of the Gambia has become. Thanks to Mr. Adama Barrow. Miya lonko. Ning ayatara. Ning Gambia dingolnteng. Ndeysan. He would not have become even a gate man in the country. And dungai Gambia banko be ya tama ya fenke. Usen dabo kanying. Usen muntol faman lalde. Usen fenke tateng. That is all bogus. That is all deception. After all, if funtite koika usenu neng ka kumaja usifa befai nyimbanko kam mo beksita tek because usenu is being insulted. Gambia ni la fita kaje molie kontani ye bulo kosinyoe wala mnyente ko wulie ye usenu neng. Usenu is also a father. Usenu is also a brother and uncle. Usenu is not only that, but he is an honorable man in the Gambia. And many people look up to him. Imagine you just jump up because of your vile and incendiary and wickedness. You're saying that that person need to die. It means the safety of Usainu Dabo is in the hand of Mr. Adama Barrow. Because nga feel like Mr. Adama Barrow could kill Usainu. Nobody can make this good. Because ala molu mili alanko fania dada alalo, especially the information minister. Shame on Ismaila Ceesay. I wish you were never a Ceesay. I swear to Allah. Katu nyendini wala fania dada na fania fo assemble warata baba pakele as if it were me, I prefer to die than to succumb to the whims and caprices of people. Kajubeko ye reckless statement also ndangana nga dada nkoeko hanide ite yenye memfa mawo for the akoten nenteng andun tolu Gambia nkolu ntollel kanyola kango moy ntollel mandinko moy nga jola moy fulo sarahule and otherwise. How disingenuous are these people? Amuluntako nyemmo si fandesa ni katu nimiso doron nekono because at the end of the day kumaka niya for president ya for hana tarae ayem ya tarabe mole fa kan ay murola kan te ko hanide no Mr. President manyem fa murole jump sa nga dunta bulo kono wala takita bulo la doron hay wala fe. Can't you be ashamed of yourselves? You know, alte malula alfanna because Gambia dingolu nyabe kumokono korosiro damal. Mi manya wo manya why? Nim president manku kandofo. Ite as an advisor or a cabinet minister. Altolle mala lieutenant solte. Altolle sa rek asa. Altolle sa manage no. But to Mr. Adama Barrow, all these local advisors I sotomin na walam nyente let them go get salary because who can do no advice? Who can say kumbalo advice? Who can the rest of the people surrounding Mr. Adama Barrow advise? Because to those people near Adama Barrow advise, meaning that they are losing their job. Because iman le fanna iman la, iman karango soto, iman londo soto, iman meche soto, iman fen soto, wolmu dia mula lalti jalolu. So Gambia, friends of the Gambia, alinga na banko, alinga kanu. And again, I will tell you one scenario. These people, Millie Alonko, they are in the cabinet or they are close to Mr. President Adama Barrow. Wolia feel like loyalty to the state means that in as long as you are supporting the president, the incumbent president, but any day, Millie Alonko, in New World Botanyo Kandorom, they have a second thought. So what type of people are you? Who are you fooling? Adama Barrow be minke kam fitina bondolemo. He is a threat to national security of our country. Adama Barrow mu ameta nyenale. Like I said, none of the IGPs, the past and present, Mobuka are correct. Is that the type of country we want? Things will never be the same. And things are going in a trajectory. The Inspector General of Police need to be very, very, very careful. The 2026 election is going to be a historical moment in the life of the Gambian people. And we do not want anything like destabilization of the country. But it could go through that direction depending on how neutral they are. It doesn't mean you are an Inspector General of Police. That's why you have to be a member of NPP. Who does that? An Inspector General of Police needs to be an Inspector General of Police for everybody in the country. Because our lives and property, safety and tranquility of the country lies in your hand by virtue of the sections of the Constitution of the Republic of the Gambia. So, what if you made yourself so visible to be supporting the National People's Party if there is a change of regime? Don't you think your position will become very untenable? Your peaceful existence will become untenable. And all of this, like I said, because Adama Barrow have London, I call milike, I sunyarol minke, I land grabbing your milike, in insartol ni lual manta, and the people who has uncovered those truths, saying he become very vile towards them. You know? What is wrong in repossessing your belongings, Milialonka and insartol ni lual manta? Because Ngajala Jawara Wato, the Algali Commission, the Assets Management and Recovery Corporation, will ye repossess from the Jawara cabinet ministers, the Antuman Gillens, the Abubakar Dentins, the Sajo Sanenyol, and in Jamalu. Because womu alala kiti yola fama alala Qur'ano le mu famati niye kuo soto imanyanka soto minna ye fuaro la namo nyelte yesu nyarol nyenke ya mutako mu bafu duolete. At the end of the day nim falon kete nyanta kata ye accountability ke ka wol bondi bulo kono anyanta ka ke wala nyama wala famu alqur'ana kuloti way wala akenda altol milbe man sakunda kon ala kata albe barawo barakela nin silo nin sartolieta. Ala kata albe kuoku kela alia sotonal tarola, because remember, make no mistake, we know all your salaries. We know how much you got before you became a state minister. We know how much you got. Adama Barrow cannot buy even a correct vehicle for himself before he became a president. Alamotol katupan lalewate wat. But now, Mr. Adama Barrow is making us believe that he is the most wealthiest man in the country. And $255,000 a day. Huh? Mosifa jamale be o domoro kenola. No wonder ningal make ku alala kitio fongole kana, because God is very fair. The God of before and the God of today, molka sai to fole. Wala mnyente niya kuwa kesomanda janu wula roi siya ya tandila. Wale ya kendi nyin tilimbalia bambalolu alaka kurangole nyori imaril kang. Nim fuarol imela domoro soto imalong, because the fuarol wall, they are very much deprived under the dispensation of justice in the country. Ala se fuaro o fuaro la ala danko asa faikang ay kuramba nyori kang. Ise fa nyala miya lonka awato mansi. To all of you, the civil servants. Wale akende alkana haramul domo nyimbanko kan. Ali haramu domol bula, ali fuarol hati, because mu jama balkono, alla dambe be mu fuari dingol lelt. Why are you so wicked to the people of the Gambia? Milia lonko nyanta ka makoy bari nal nan futata man sakundato aliye nyinela nal be palaso nyinin kanela aliye wuri aliye ta si dolu fango ibe dabandingol mutala as ifko itol be binde wala milia lonko nana man bindeke e man la fi ko e masa ko en ko e do kuoke yet tara e fansun tarola bari quick money, fast money, and then easy accessible money la fita wala Nyimbanko mbele dentala. Adama Barrow doesn't have more stake in this country than anybody else. Make no mistake, Adama Barrow is one person out of a lot. But in niaje nga bunya nga horma nga clothes nga feed nga security diala 24/7 because he is the leader of our country, not because atele kekende ata katambi mobile. Oto omari nyanta meomen fola bankoka anyanta molu fa salale. Ay molu ke kilinti akana molu fisamante andi nyote. Wale atina in the Gambia today, selective justice mimbe kerinji. At tambita nanela because modol be surrounding is surrounda banko ka minna wala mnyentiko ye taindin ne muteka, whereas drug pedula solu wol nin container lekana wol marilu wol ima wol fangmuta. Where is that kind of justice in our country? Well, I think Gambia needs a fundamental system overhaul and system change. Na banko kan kajubeko nko, if we believe in things and say this, it should be applicable to everybody. Ngajela our 6th legislature, which is our National Assembly, miya lonko, wala mu the most useless people ever. And that is why I'm calling on all the Gambian people. Can National Assembly be reject in this coming election? Kajube, all the bankers, economics, graduates, nurses, doctors, researchers, wolu ebeye da dunde parliamentary election on yinkono, so that we can bring sanity to our country. We can have a vibrant legislature. Mia lonko as a bankola needs an aspirational long. I fuarial fenke need agronomists or lela to sit at the National Assembly to make laws that will be favorable to our agriculture in the country. We need doctors at the National Assembly. Milia Lonko, they would be able to know the basic nursing standard Milia Lonko Kakabe Bankoka, so that they make laws that are in conjunction with things that will happen at the hospitals. We need bankers at the National Assembly as well as researchers. Puro Kajubeko. We bring sanity there, and we need a National Assembly. Milialonko, ni tata for election on yenganye. Partisan politics should be history. I wrote about this piece. It's coming up on Open Gambia. So these are things. Manyan Kajubeko, I'm from the UDP. So therefore, when I go to the National Assembly, I should support every agenda of the UDP here and there. Of course, sometimes we know that party agendas need to be put, but you have to be strategic in your ways and manners and dealings to scrutinize. Kajubeko, is that to the interest of my electorate within my constituencies? Or is it to the good of the Gambian people or the country? Then yet are normal. But we have seen these 6 legislators who are podium hunters. Me along with Mr. Adam Barrow bribed with a lot of money. Taking brown envelope. Trying to pass all sort of things. Land allocation. The Prado vehicle here and there. How do you think to come to the National Assembly to make certain laws? And we have seen the Mia Lonko, they want to make more trouble so that they can amass so much wealth. And these are the kind of National Assembly members, Mia Lonko, before they came, they cannot even buy a proper underwear for themselves. Or they cannot buy a bicycle for themselves. Oh, Maril, ni nata, they would look out for themselves than looking out for the poor people of the Gambia. We need intellectuals, Milialonko. They will partake in the National Assembly, Kajube, to bring sanity into the national discourse, 𝒂𝒊𝒏 discourse. It should not be partisan politics. Ne watente sila, Ngajube George's remunerational and pensions. Ntajela, they put an entire life saving. Purunga Jojo Jowola. Hanatare mantike Jojo te yejo for life. Hana a president's bill, former president's bill. Hani manke president. Eke ibe means, where in the world have we ever seen this? Kajube ko ni mantara president yal e nyanta kejo. The US president nyembanko kang afangola domoro anala kuol katra afangole bulu. Na mantara president yal e buka ajo exactly aka minsotono. How dare you people? It means ko National Assembly member mumu kurumbalel to have approved that ex-president's pension, whereby they put more money aka minsoto signing wala famo bet na e fonyo president wala abe minsoto la wala famo tambita. Why are you acting in contravention with the laws of the country, where those people will continue to be rich and the poor people will be in the gutters? Fellow Gambians and friends of the Gambia, the National Assembly in the Gambia are trying to look out for themselves. Who knows? Who tell them that ko itol nyanta kajole ning ayatarahani filter e mantaran safkang as a National Assembly member. So tilimbali ale benna bankoka. Wala akende to you the voters and electorates. Mo manyankana sikal nene, including myself. Even my party, United Democratic Party, if they put up a very weak and slumber and sluggish and unintelligent person, I'll nyantaka rejectly outright. To me, ni National Assembly member bembe be bondila from the National Assembly, all of them be recall to vote them out. No amount of kafoko abota UDP le abota nyendula, because they have not served the interests of the Gambian people. Neng ayatara the interests of the country. Wale akende impeachment proceedings nyanta 𝒘𝒐𝒊𝒏 Adama Barrow impeached. And it would be on a bipartisan basis, where the members of NPP National Assembly wala fang be lead tala ka jube ko president o dalita ka nyenkuma kensen sifalfo ka molu neng ka molu kajafi, most importantly in the persona of Ousainou Darboe, puruka impeach, because nga jikiko momi ya lonko, even if they are in their right frame of mind, would not have said this. So it means the president cannot execute his function, so therefore he needs to be impeached, because something might be wrong with him. You know. So to Barrow and his people, Gambia government manka laketa kundat. Gambia mansakunda belongs to the people of the Gambia. And any money you get there in a more of a clandestine way will be repossessed sooner rather than later. No amount of fear, no amount of vile and incendiary statement can make you free from that. Katum fuaro lafengo, niye wota, ya mabo, yake. kuo kuti imba mume talal bulle. Man sakunda nata. As long as a meta koto nyaonya a bebe talal bulle. Because ndeysan Gambia mbuka karambake. Mbuka karam from past history. Nia jube history kake. Walang we learn from the past and make references and inference from that. Purukan na biso ne yande. Ngang hakilo to kuo dol milketa mistake te kunung. Binka na wolke. Ne woten. Jawara la wato Commission of Inquiry ketalde. Ya Jamela wato Commission of Inquiry ketalde. And we expect who is Mr. Adama Barrow to tell us that ko nate botaje commission of manyankake nabe laringa fannako. I meo men sotala sotona halalola. You should not be panic. And to me, I see a president who is panicking because his time is over. Mr. Adama Barrow, time is up. To all your people, Milia Lonko Ibebala, who would make Henry Gomez, who is as empty as a barrel, somebody close to you? Near Mirala, you even begin to cry. And at the end of the day, it's the Gambian people who continue to suffer in that country. But make no mistake, we are yearning for change, a proper change. Admanke ko hasidiati, walaten konnantead. We believe in the process and the power of democracy. Kataniko, meo meng ning ayatara. Falingole nyanta kake, we have the will of the people to do that in our country. Through the right way. But at the end of the day, it costs some people to go and do dubious things to perpetuate government. This is why Nyimman Sakunda to Mr. Adama Barrow atebe siri nya, but he is not happy. Because of all what he did to perpetuate himself on power. Abe wale nya no wonder na tata daoda abe kamfarin newo abe molu nenna abe kumabal fola abe Gambia dingol kajafila abe people in the diaspora. What has become of this man? So to uniform men and women of the Gambia and a special advice to the Inspector General of Police. Mr. Adama Barrow has proven you wrong. Mr. Adama Barrow has shamed you. Because the sooner you mention that you will go after people who make vile and hate speeches, he drop it at your doorstep. So now what are you going to do? Are you going to arrest him? Are you going to charge him for sedition? Just like you clandestinely trying to portray Ibrahim Adiba. Ibrahim Adiba and others are very innocent in the country. They want to politically persecute them, but our fellow, the president of the Gambia, did the same thing. Why not charge him for sedition? You see, Tonya beka ta dulalto. Dulal killing, a beka na boli killing. So this is why we need to be very careful as a people in the country. And this is not about politics. This is about nationhood. Nabanko. Because Ousainou Darboe is an elderly man in the country, as well as Mr. Adama Barrow is an elderly person in the country. Near Mr. Adama Barrow, you expect a lot of people to come after you because he's a father figure to many. We would not want to do that. Equally, if you insult Ousainou Darboe or you wish death for him, death will befall you multiple 150 times or many hundreds of thousand times. Simply because mo jamale ke yaka Ousainou Darboe fanan. Andite ko Ousainou Darboe mo ifalet. Mr. Adama Barrow, for decency's sake, for morality's sake, for honor, integrity's sake, do not call Ousainou Darboe kotenke ko ifale mat. Ousainou, through us, have denounced you to be his father anymore. Because ntede, mfama, ntete te kumajaw fola wala sakorenko, because it is very demeaning. Na society kono, it is abysmal. It is wrong. You know? Na society imang kulu o nyama purun kalin na alfal ne wati o wati. But again, who are the advisors of the Mr. Adama Barrow? Mr. Adama Barrow, go back, sit down in your quiet moment, fire all your advisors. We have been on Facebook Live. So many programs nga tandila coming days, people are not worth their salt. It means you are depriving the governments of other spendings. Alonko Nying advisors are costing the Gambia. But they are not worth their salt. They would have advised you time and time again, focus your eyes on the price. Inya low Gambia dingo la sulo lka. Andumbi Gambia la sulo munati konko. Everybody is hungry in that country. Everybody is sick in the Gambia. And the person to solve that with all these donor monies that are coming into the Gambia, they all go to the wrong way, the wrong place. That is how sick our country has become and very hungry. Can't we bring decency and sanity into our country? Instead of cutting budgets, we are increasing bigger and bigger government, setting up useless commissions of inquiry, milialonka nenetekela, ala recommendation on nenebuka fenke, creating more and more spending. As if Gambia is just like, you know, we are benefiting the same people over and over and over, and we try to recreate positions for them so that they can survive in that country. How sick are we as a country? And near for drone, I have be fania. Benen tonya fo be mu tonya fault. Tonya fo minka fo jam bi o tonya fo kilo mbe wallal fokan e mariye kunum beri be tonye kan. So bi ni e tonya fo eko bi o tonya nyin is so harsh. How can tonya be harsh? If you are a believer of truth, tonya fo da nyaonya dron tonya drama. But just because you are part of the system, they told you the truth, you cannot handle it, and you just say, 𝒂𝒄𝒄𝒏𝒏𝒆𝒍 bankoka. Until we are very much measured. Very measured. Katandiko any platform tata si dauda mbediamo minkelaji abukake nendirti sakorenko asake moti kafo ebe kajafila honyam. At the end of the day, Niko moyo ko iman tonya fo wale mo faniale wale wuliya fo o manke nendirte because wuliya ye kuma ka o mem fo na manke tonya te wala mo wuliya dol sa fo ko faniale dol sa fo 𝒂𝒄𝒄𝒏𝒏𝒆𝒍. It all comes to the same thing, like I said previously, depending on ita Maria for nyamin contextually, not the dictionary meaning of that statement. So na banko futata nyineto miya lonko, we do not have a head of state. Man leader sort of, because that person needs to be impeached. Because a reckless statement jamal la fonyen banko kang mo man diamo. And it is a shame on him. Amanyanka fisiro walea Gambia bankol. Amanyanka fisiro walea molula milia ke mansati. Yewoje mola o mari mu takaleti andu hani takaka joyedun. So Ousseynou Dabo manke fulanti. Ousseynou Dabo ye molal wulu. Ousseynou Dabo mu moleti miya lonko ay Gambia kanu bak. Andung ala jero ni la jero na fatata o manyanka kendi ya mira komenko o mari nyantaka fale. And God so good, God so good. Alamaye Ousseynou Dabo si mayande. And God so good, Gambianol. We are missing out a lot on Ousseynou Dabo. We would not know ning funding ke president nga jube how much our country can change. Mone akende Africa wala ten dunia kono kuo minyanta kasone ambuka la fiwol. But the people come to us to make us believe in a minor big change. Oye mani boto dantan dile ko ifa ko nyen. Gambia dingo beya lon ko UDP is no Mandinka party. In fact, there may be more mixed tribe in UDP than anywhere else because the UDP, by proximity and the demographic of the country, the census, the last time we checked, says there are more Mandinkas in the Gambia than any tribe. So if there is a bigger political party, you will hypothetically, arithmetically, have more people who call themselves we are Mandinkas by virtue of the census that we have. Is that a problem? When has that become a crime in a country? To have the majority people be part of a political party that they belong? Isn't that democracy? Freedom of association? Freedom to choose where you belong, where you manifest your own religion? Where you do things without the influence of other people. When has that become a crime in the country? If we believe in democracy and the fundamental values of the principle of the rule of law, ngamera wallal ya kende kominko nyanta ka nyil fengol lelta ni observe in a country. But it is sickening. It is very toxic in a society like Gambia, very small country within mainland Africa. Na divisiveness, na hate, na vileness, and in a disgusting way of perceiving other people as enemies of the state just because we have different philosophical difference and political leaning with them. It should not come to that. A manyanka kewo nyama. After all, Ousainou Darboe remained to be a Gambian, and in fact, all these prayers, man proposes, God disposes. Hopefully, slowly but slowly, it's about time Mbengambulo di Nyola, we make Ousainou president. Like I said, and see if Mr. Adam Barrow will jump off of the cliff and commit suicide. Yeah. Because near hate kemola bage. Ila o hate speaking, o ka keni modo kete support, wo buka la fila kula sai, a man la finye momin na kana wale support. Because aya long ko ite mari mo sifal. And that is happening because the MPP party is a party of lies. Faniale ya patiolo, jamfale ya patiolo, and a patio nyinga be burukala because of fania wole ba taila. Wole akendi mo jama in large numbers, in hundreds and thousands. They are leaving that party because it's a party of deception. Since the inception of this NPP, Molu biji milia lonko ye jamfake, they make a friction, they break away and went to NPP. Say, oh mol alke moileba. Alke moileba. Because inati fanal be kudeta le ye be jamfale. Jamfaka jo jamfale la. This is why Mr. Adama Barrow is scared to death. Nyimbe musilangoletide. Silangolem nyimbete ya kuma kalantamba for simply because he knows that time is up. And the people of the Gambia will saw that time is up because the poor people, even as far as Fatoto, knows what is good or bad. Because you cannot make us believe ntolla balunya be sone arin whereas ite buka responsible na depanso la me ya lonko be Fatoto nkolu walla li ya lonko e la balunya be nyadile walla li ya lonko business wala kole ya be Gambia banko ka nyadi. So to the people of Basse and the suburb, this should not be about regionalism. You know? This should not be about regionalism. This should be about country. Because bi balunya la kole ya be Gambia banko ka nyami wotambita nanela. I'm in the Gambia 3 months, completely plus. But the Gambia is a hungry nation. If anybody makes you believe otherwise, it's not getting it. Because I lived it in the Gambia. Maybe I was able to survive because my earning power is different from so many people in the Gambia. So is that the type of lifestyle you want to continue in a country? Or you want to make a stop to that? Ilaftaka okuonying, ilafitaka danne ya burukawai. Ngo kabirin 2016 ila balunya abenyaming nimbita mamfisi ya wata lonko ite mantar balunya kendoka. And it will be a foolhardy of you. Ibekela motole bati ka continue ka balunya kurunga nyin soto. When you have the option ka balunya kendota. You know? I believe in accountability and transparency. And wolbe mankitam Adama Barrow la mansakunda kon. Mo jamal be nyim mansakunda kon e tinyari balke Mr. Adama Barrow hani bi hani sama mamma. Bare atala manya niaje dorong opposition ollem. Fo wolem mansayati ba. Fo wolen tamandir nya kendo te bang. Nyullel ka kendi fitino e bo bankol kam. Ela doku mu minti ma wo keno e mela makato baino. Ikana beke mo nengoti. Ka kuma jawol fo kumol milialon ko hana atara milbe psychiatric hospital oto ibuka fo. And ite ya lonko, you have a bigger responsibility to do by Gambian people. Ima wo doku makato bay because niaje la cabinet minister mo mala doku makato bay doro. It is because of Mr. Adama Barrow, simply because he's limited in ability to know how those things can work. Nim mo mala doku no two things abay walate ya mari prosecute. Because I minke jewo manyang. You know? But at the end of the day, you just leave people the way they are. Ibe bankola na fulo pisir pasara. Drug be faring Gambia bankoka. Doku man soto. Be pare ning dono partner solye. Kodi o kodi dundi na bankoka. Iko ya dundi nyendulado. A beta kasara. Momo e kasunya le kasunya. So at the end of the day, ni moya foko, wonyantaka repossess le ni bota mansakunda kono womanyanka ke kamfati white. Because in my yellow, itante woti. And wole be kela, fabe kela ntoli nyala lebang, fabe kela usenu nyala lebang, bari, yin commissions of inquiry be continue lale. Our commission of inquiry will be totally different from the commissions of inquiry of Mr. Adama Barrow, whereby, ateka commission of constitute le, I commissioner soldier Kodibala, million lonko they could have otherwise been spent on our health sector, other productive base of our economy, agriculture, education, healthcare, and stuff like that. But in Tolta be different. Ni wali recommendation okay hatebuka tamande. But in Tolta be kelamuna wala mnyente ko mo mansa kunda do kulati kodi wo kodi sunya a bebe account lale a be bondi ibulo kono ya tebulu ni bumbale lo bumba ngake police headquarters to decentralize development in our country. Wose mo kamfa ba jawara la wata keta ya jamela wata keta na keta after Adama Barrow fomu nene majolti ni Adama Barrow kamfata wola ahisele santa aye jolon santo. But 𝒂𝒐𝒊𝒏 should not be your problem in the country. 𝒂𝒐𝒊𝒏 should not be more, because come to think of it, sababo nyantaka tentu wai fisir walle ya bambalo wa manyanka ke banko kan kaje ko molu milie ke kuti bi ko nyata no len ka o mol sifalje ite mari mo sifalete. Like I said, the Gambia has lost, and Adama Barrow man kekende akatambi Gambia dingol. Nko, it would have come to the thing, me and Lonko, you do me, I do you. Mol bukala vinga nyimfo. But if we have laws in the Gambia, Milia Lonko, those laws are not applicable when they are supposed to apply to everyone in the country. But those laws seemingly would apply when somebody is in an isolated incident, supposedly an opposition, ni way kudo ke ko ibe luwa nyil tamandileka. Nte sonnala jambi nte sonnala jansama. Nyullal ka fitino wulinde. where we have laws for everybody, but the laws are not applicable. Well, I think they use the laws to be in their favor because they know they are the incumbent in power. Through suppressions and other utterly disgusting help of security forces. Remember, the Gambia security forces, the last time I checked Gambia, especially Gambia police force, it's like 5,000. 5,000. So the Gambians have overwhelmingly exceeded your numbers. Like I said, albota korral lel kono. Albota tundol lel to aning constituency salt. Albota wallel. But in Luantaya, it should be evenly and judiciously applicable to everybody. Niwo manke dorong. That's why you see popular uprising. Moluka wuli ka volunteer ka fo komin ko nyimmambete ante sonna nyinna ando niwo keta afele ngal bulufa. Falla fita walla bang. Falla fita walla bang. Nite koy man la fi hate speech la for dulalto. President fela hate speech for. The number one person saying kumo banta bomb last card arrest. Ni man kuke wo president la. Ale Ibrahim de Babulaita because a man for me along 𝒂𝒂𝒏𝒄𝒎. It is politically motivated. I said this at the headquarters of the Banjul police at the court hearing. Katanda lako altol police olu altol la jo doyata mol fang bed. Why are you so wicked to the people of the Gambia? Kamolu bute, kamolu tinkolea, katiaga solfai, abetata nata doku balia. And I will still repeat it over and over. You know what? I do not denigrate and vilify police forces. I respect them because I was one time part of these security forces. So, but niya jube, nintama mo bute birimbe o doku sifalla, whether police or immigration or Bemu Gambia forces or loyalty or army prison forces. You know? Nimma mo bute na doku wato kono. Why should you do it? Kajubeko, ye kido le dila, ye tesa le dila, ye paper spray le dila, or a baton. You know? So, alingang hakilo to bage. Gambia la lua nyanta katarale ko Gambian kolye. Nim president we lua tinya ye kuluro rata. Ni ensa ABC lua tinya ye kuluro lankang. Nim modoya tinya ye kuluro lakang. It's not be selective justice. And be selective justice sembo warata Gambia Bangkokan. Thanks to our Inspector General of Police and so many other people. Milia lonko ibuka lua tamanda nyanta katama nyame. And make no mistake. Milia lonko nyanta kake nyame nima ke onyama. You should not want people to put more pressure on you to use your resources. Or kodol mingal be used to buy baton, paper spray, and also tear gases. Those money could have been used to buy vehicle for your operational needs. Because remember, security duties ngake jang nyimbankokan in America. I have every gadgets on me, Melia Lonko Nunto. The whole Twindo ni Mia Lonkabe area nyinto. I supervise all of them. But in Jube, some of them would think that we are police officers because we have everything. We have gone with us. We have tasers. We have pepper spray. We have everything. But Gambia la police force all Jube. Iman kidol soto. Iman fengol dol soto. But at the end of the day, odo kuo numbirimbala nyimbankoka. We exercise maximum restraint and due diligence ka jubeko ene mol milbe dilla inyanta loibe sambala nyame. You know? But it's a police officer. Molu ye funti dorong bam ye fanke komen koibe kamfari wol kammal. Wo manyanka ke kuti miya lonka nyanta ka police reform nyanta ka kele. So, alinga nyensi fabula. What is good for the goose should be good for the gander. Because the goose and the gander are no different in society. They are all one and the same. They are a subset of a larger set. You know? So ni ko mo ni molia nyinke mbe ponisla president fela yake. So B, in the Gambia, if the president is not punished for the hate speech in the country, it's over. Because at the end of the day, the president has made several hate speeches in the country. MoMA hold accountable to that. So the Inspector General of Police need to know that he cannot, on no certain term, to go after anybody, Alonko, they would make hate speech in the Gambia. Because the president of the Republic of the Gambia, who is the #1 person, has been orchestrating violence in the country many time and time again. And in most instances, it's only individual who will come out and condemn, but not the religious denomination, which is so shameful. Which is so shameful. I expected at this Brikama rally, when the president Sifa Foko at Lafita Usenu Dabo fa ni woman fa foye na ya fa ko ya afatale ya badele sanyin atasina president ya. Who told Mr. President that Usenu follow be fala tenya? Huh? Wati jamale ning malaikal mauti minka molu niota ina kontrako sign. For all you know, we may see as a Keno Alama Jamfala, as a Keno Mr. Adama Barrow, you may die before Usenu. It's all possible. So what is the yardstick that you use to make this kind of speeches? Amam banko dingol nafa, amam banko sunkuru nyokono, enyantaka minke, ema woleke, woye bulofa resign. Or the National Assembly should summon you in a bipartisan way, you impeach. Because it means that Mr. President has become more of a liability, saying things Alonko, they don't make sense to average Gambians. This is so shameful. Maluba lemnyent. Islam dunke nyaton kod. Ali wuli, ali kafu molla, alala molu karihandi, alala molu diamundi, nying election o minkana in 2026, e kanalu nene no mumeke. Hanatare kodo samaji male dialla, ala domo. Kaira tinyang aela, alinga Adama Barrow vote out of power because the continued perpetuation of Mr. Adama Barrow in the presidency of the Republic of the Gambia is a disservice to country. Bata be lokuri Gambia la nyim momento nyinkon bari o bata sanje dantangol milbinala wala fango be koleala thanks to the bad governance of Mr. Adama Barrow. And we as a people, if we sit by, we do not speak like this, ntolbekela na fi quality. Because nga feel leko nkoyaya jameka wo sifa lelke. So if Mr. Adama Barrow said the same thing, nyanta ka kuma fongala kuo condemn ka faye kon tolu manke tete ntol manye long nga alfa bunya le long. And again, like I said, I do not hate Mr. Adama Barrow, but I dislike the way and manner aka ala dajiko be nyaming, aka banko samba nyaming. It's not good for country. Momo manyimfo ete mari bekela nafi kolete. I see the first lady trying to attack Brikama Area Council. Oh boy, a kettle calling a pot black. Because Nia Jube Fatuba Barrow is more of a tainted character than Yankuba Dabo. Yankuba Dabo Mumu, people's mayoralty. After all, there is more scandal in the first lady in your account, $35 million. Ima was Seneandi no Gambia dingol. How would $35 million go and drop in my account just like that? In an isolated incident. So let the first lady shut up. Because ate no telefa banta. Because she has more shady character than aka Yankuba Dawo Ming attack. Yankuba yala kuol be bondele aye be lankene mande. Why not the First Lady and the President of the Republic do the same thing? But nieto la maje wala muka molu neng ka molu kajafi just simply because he koi tolu nyimman saya mu itolien nene majolti because they never dreamed of it. They came as an accidental president yene mod. Because Adam Barrow fam ka mam faham akamang karang barate mo jamal lel sota fambal. But B, that is the Adam Barrow of 2016 prior to the all of this. But B, we have a different Adam Barrow Mia Alonko mo maslandimba. Mole mati Mia Alonko, he could have used this opportunity to unify the whole of Gambia. But Bile Gambianolu divided, Bile Gambianolu sabatanyola, Bile Gambianol malanyola. Thanks to Mr. Adama Barrow at Barrow, Anala, Dundunjang, and in Dandanjan. And these are the right thing to say. These are the truth. Like I said, the Inspector General of Police, that office is an honorable office. There are so many Inspector General of Police that come and go. So nyindang mimfanam beje aba dandule. Regardless of whatever happened in that position, people will remember you for two things. The good things you did in that office and the bad things. Ando ita mari, ibe mira la ye dimbaya lel soto nyim bankokan. Ye dingol lel soto yim bankokan. Ye bading kendol lel soto yim bankokan. Would you want to be counted on the wrong side of history of our country? Well, like in the Gambia, our country, we need to have a constitution, Mia Lonko. It will empower the Inspector General of Police so that mansala interference ta mamandinola sako asa baidokul. So that namul se lano ifana. But these good laws ni fintindina because the draft constitution be sotole ay director be empowerle ay be sansan ne kajube ko manyanke bayno dokula. But because of bad governance, they want to twist the dial. Gambian will believe Nico. Now the draft constitution should not go because of the retroactive clauses. Abe manketonyat. It's simply because they want to continue to perpetuate impunity in the Gambia. On that note, friends of the Gambia, fellow Gambians, alenga kata na Adama Barrow bonde mansayala. Momo jikita nung Adama Barrow la iko abe mansayala. B, I call on you. This is a plea. It's a clarion call. Ka jubeko alal fanjam fandenyin. Because the man is losing it big time. The man is losing it, and that is not good for our country. So the good thing to do, National Assembly need to invoke an impeachment proceeding. Puruka bondi. Because Nyenka Kumakangol Milfo, he needs to be looked at. Is he okay in our country? Because ni mola difference so se Kenya nyantala filefa, and the President of the Republic mbenga mwele amafoning kandola amafoning Chinese lad afoning Gambian kakawal. Maybe Kus is working on this at the State House. Katuko nying kumakawal mimfot. I cannot understand how a president would just stand kafo moe ko foyefa. Because to him, walam nyente ko mobe fundina ye jele ha ha ha. Nyemanke jele kut. In fact, moli nyanta kumbola le yodulato foye yelobam. They should pity Mr. Adama Barrow Kajubeko. He might not be okay. Kajubeko na banko, it has come to this. How would you expect Nimodo Funtitai Wokumakan Sifafo, Etebe Funtinola Dnyadila as a leader of a country, Kafoeko, hey, Alkana Nyimfo. How would Mr. Adama Barrow expect to come out on the platform or a national address ka for Gambia dingoleko alkana fitino bonde when he is afangu fitina bondi lati suta tili. So me memfola Gambia dingoli alinga Adama Barrow bondi mansayal. He has outlived his usefulness. A bantabulle ferem. He cannot do any more thing. Nothing. Because taling ala talim fo osiata baba back. Are we going to live like this? We need a serious person to be at the helm of affairs at the number 1 Marina Parade. Kajubeko to be more presidential. Ni lafita kuma kangol fola with advisors milia foeko no Mr. President walate na ye Michael Bondibul. These are how good advisors would do. Ye Michael fa a jarita ye woeke bari nyen kuma kan si falu banko dingol manyanka yimoy. Dingol manyanka yimoy. Because at the end of the day, make no mistake, nin dingol yimoy ba mirala kominko saying it is a new normal purun kanyo wiska kadua nyola sayala. Can't we think as a country? For Adama Barrow tamu bankot. Gambia is governed by laws that have been made way before Mr. Adama Barrow was even born. So, Lualu, we should cherish and jealously safeguard them with neutrality, regardless of your political background or your leaning to chain of command. You know, anything less than that is a disservice to country. And like I said, we need the stance of the Supreme Islamic Council and Christian Council Nyimsifalo Nika Bonang, the head of state of the country. So that na lonko Nyimmeta kafole, but the Supreme Islamic Council has condemned this, not by condemning it, but by saying it and writing it officially. But in Daysan, when has that happened in our country? And these are the people, Milia Lonko, Islam manke waramba badumati. Don't niela warambol jede, you feel like on yulel sutiata alafama. No, inga niyo. Akono, ajanta kekewale ya. Tilingo, wole mu alkuranoti. Pare tilingo nye mimbe nyanta kafo, man sabe tilimbali akele, man sabe fitino bonde kam banko kan. Jamale nene wurita, eko ifayeko, man sabe yenye mimfa mambete. Munanal Teo Kenola as an organization of Islamic people. Milialon Kwaltolbe Maralendino la Fanala, whether you are Muslim or Christian. Nyelel nyantaka kenna bankoka. Nembansa he misspeak to the people of the Gambia. Ale diamai. Ni opposition o ku masila nonge. Ale diamai. Mbajala ko, we have a serious Supreme Islamic Council. Mili alonko ninku oku keta eka dia mule kafo eko malla finyin na jan. Because after all, woman sa nyinga ka alto lel use kafo ko al ngata al tali eta nyin diam wali nyin diam. Al kana song yali use as a bargaining chip in the country. Dino force wati ba ken. Mo ila salo na la doya ba mume ye balu tonyal. Nyine akendi Omar Bunjang atata fata sanji jelu hani bi hani sama na dia mutatende ka fo bila be balure because of a baluta tonya lekan a baluta kule kam miya lonko an nene buka tonya nakar a buka lo ka fo kominko ibuka mansa soso ning ayatara o mansa be telembalia aning tonyero ke kam bankoka na Umar Bunjang ala lo dino kan anala tonya fonga wojenyin banko kan barin Gambian kol fonga dina kutolesto for dina kutolesto tataba because dino means sotata walam Islam Christianity before the advent of Islam, kuol bring paganism bekere. But bring Islam not an in Christianity, they are a subset of each other. Wale akendiko na Prophet Isa aning nyin Christianol kafo minnako itolla ala ibe almost the same. Our callings are different because ntol kafo leko atemo annabiyo molti bari nyin dongol ko amu alaleti. Yes, still for dina kutola soto. So Gambian Kolo alinga tonya for mansaya nimba bala to help mansanying mi alonko nabe kuo min keka ngate malom ala mol mil babale sa fay ko nyinda buka fen bari mbala jalol jelate meda bak mbala molu jela mil alonko e me fankanu imam banko kanu ya fako ha president manyim fot because alaw kuma kando fana e tinyaro ke dame wol natale ko ha president ma wofo. Oh, molo, they should be ashamed of themselves. Eman londe soto, eman fahamu, eman karang. Itolula na fahamu mente wala mnyenteko. Itol se balu, modolu, whether they live on bread. Wala fall ben netole domokang. Itol man kea wala. Mam mo londe. Mo base Adama Barrow kanu fonte. I dislike Adama Barrow la dajiko because amu mo tilimbalolti aman tilimbanko mol tema andunga Gambia divide le more than Gambia benu nyame. Andung ala lack of inaction to probe in and crack down on corruption and corrupt practices and people who promote corruption in our government. Wale akende mang Adama Barrow lafi. Man Adama Barrow lafi way before biringa nata ko July 22nd movement man better andunga tenata Barrow youth movement kabiru wato le man Adama Barrow lafi kolbe diaring amang atara na bebe kukele ngo Adama do nyanta ka consistent ni ko mimman bete akunu bi te manyanki suma wala wala akende Gambia dingola alinga nafiki ya kanyande. You do not have to like me, 𝒂𝒄𝒄𝒏𝒆𝒍. You don't have to like me. But ninga mimfo, ning ayatarante, I am always on point. Ninga tonya fo, tonya nyimanyanke demiwai. Momo la balunya wale mutonyat. Whether you are Muslim or Christian, mbe believe tala wala mnyentiko, na tonya nyimfasa, because tonya fasa ni lua, ka lua horoma, wale mu, banko katano nyato wale nya. Ni woteng, ni luate banko ka mulunta ko momi yesembo satonte de womaril binala embute. Adama Barrow makeku. Mo kendo be nyanta nyaku ala nyimfe ka tandala ko. Adama Barrow imakeku. Ila kondiro fumata ba ke atambita nanela foi la fita usenu yefa. Alama usen dabo si mayala. Ala o mari ya Rabbi. Alama si mayala. Ala o mari ya Muhammad. Alama usen si mayala bak. Ala o mari ya Khabir. Alama usen si mayala bak nyimbankoka. Ala o mari nyimbanko. Ala o mari usenu ya mara 2026. Na jube fo Adama Barrow be jolon na mbrijo la santo. Gambian call. Friends of the Gambia and my friends. Alinga Adama Barrow condemn. Not only condemn him, alinga bali cartel. Nyimbe silandi nyale la silandi nyami ya lonko 2026 alonka bantabul. Fere. Wato kama se sila nyaonya. We have to put our eyes on the prize. Wala mnyentiko ka Adama Barrow denounce ka defeat in a free and fair election. Then the rest would be history. And the Gambian people would decide what comes next. Bara nye memfo. Ku mulunja uba. Nteta afola. Ndingo ta afola. Mo kende jama fanam fango ta afola. Because wala mo hate la dandula fango bait. So Usenu ala safety and security lies in the hands of Adama Barrow unless you want the Gambia to be borne down. And until Gambia dingolu, we have made so many astronomical development in that country. We have said it, I have said it in many platforms. That's the last thing we want. Because nga doku sifa mimbeke in millions and millions puruka bunkende ba lo dulat. Nda na wo eta be kasara onyam. Is only banko denjao wole bel la fila. Anaki na banko nyinka. 𝒂𝒐𝒊𝒏 is honorable, is a dignified citizen of the Gambia. He worked for the Gambia. He lost everything for that Gambia. 𝒂𝒐𝒊𝒏 does not deserve to be denigrated and wish for a death, me alone to die like a dog. Shame on you, Mr. President Adama Barrow. Shame on you. Alo mari ila dua jawolu. Alo mari obeke la opposite. Ha. Alo mari 𝒂𝒐𝒊𝒏 simaya la. Ay simaya fae me kometa koto. We see what will happen. Alanin dankuto. Dankuto bale benning Adama Barrow tem. Dankuto si senim Barrow. At the end of the day, the truth is just the truth. Koto Gambian kolu mbal tentula, mbal jaila ala baraka bake, and sa 𝒂𝒐𝒊𝒏, United States of America, ala baraka.